Welcome friends to another e-learning session, and today's topic is Introduction to PHP. So this is basically the third part of our major course, that is the worldwide technologies, and previously we had covered Introduction to HTML and CSS. So if you have not already seen those sessions, I will strongly encourage you that you please go back and see those sessions so that you have the basic required base to continue with this session. So what is PHP? So PHP is actually an open source stack, and it started within the Linux community, and basically it was a web engine or a web application engine developed on Unix stack initially. And the people in Unix, the open source guys, they have a habit of using something called recursive acronyms. So actually the full form of PHP itself is PHP Hypertext Preprocessor. So that is PHP. So what is this? This is an open source server-side scripting language. So we will go in little more detail in what is server-side and what is scripting language. But just for now, it's just an open source scripting language. It is a powerful tool to make dynamic and interactive websites, and it has other, like, it has been widely used for some times, and although it started with Linux, but it can run on Windows and Mac and other OS platforms also. And to this, as I mentioned, we need a basic knowledge of HTML, CSS, and if you have a knowledge of JavaScript, that is good, but not required at this point of time. So what can PHP do? So we will see how it does all those things, but just to see why we are learning this, why or what can PHP actually do. So it can generate dynamic pages. Okay. So till now, whatever we have learned in HTML and CSS, we learned how to create a beautiful website which user can go and check it out. But that is a static, like the content cannot change. Every time user opens it, it will be the same. But imagine if Facebook would have been like this. Like anyone goes there and always whenever they open Facebook and they see the same page. So is that a good thing to have? Or if Facebook will say, okay, I will give you a dynamic thing. You can create your own home page or your own wall. But for that you have to actually go there and write HTML. So will you do that? Will you use that, like go to Facebook, write all your posts in HTML and then publish? So that is not what we want. We want an interactive service. Basically it's now no longer a web page. We call it as a web service. Other examples like internet banking. So you can go there, you can log in. After login, you can do all kind of transactions. You can send money, receive money, see the reports. Other examples are like, so everything nowadays is a web service, a service which is presented on a website, which is dynamic, highly interactive, and you can go and change it. So how does we can do it? In HTML we don't have option. In HTML we can only present the page. But PHP and other server-side scriptings make us possible to generate that HTML on the fly. So with that, what we can do is basically we can generate dynamic page content. So we can have our page changing based on the user and the input given and the requirement. We can collect data, form data. We can open, read, write, close files on the server. So ultimately whenever we do something, we want to get the data, we want to save the data and operate upon it. We will see more things like accessing cookies, modifying data in database. This is one of the most important thing in any service. For example, take a small service like a cab service. So you want a website for a cab service. Okay, cool. You can go there and create a very nice looking website in HTML and CSS. But if you want features like a user should be able to reserve a cab, or at least if they have booked a cab on phone, they want to see the status of the cab. So you would like to have a database where you will have all the data, like what is the cab number, what is the driver's name, driver's phone number, is it running on time or not. So all this will be stored in some kind of database, and we will learn how to access database so that I can make my website dynamic, have it changing. whenever I go and change something in database, I want user to be able to see it